Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A very good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for watching live on YouTube. We have a lot of people that were watching to the previous show. So for those that are sticking around, thank you for that. That was a very fun gentleman's sweep show of the Nielsen True.
Modified gentleman's sweep.
Why is it a modified?
I have no idea.
Who's saying it was modified?
These guys were.
Is it? It's a modified sweep.
They said,
isn't it?
Okay,
yeah, because I think it's technically like it was supposed to be a gentleman's sweep is 3-0, and then you give the team a win to make it.
Is that?
I think that's what technically a gentleman's sweep is.
I thought
That's why it's modified.
I also thought it's also be careful with the gentleman's sweep around Reed Wilkins.
He hates it.
He couldn't stand it yesterday, so the morning boys got it in. You won't be getting it much later this afternoon when it comes to the word gentleman's sweep. But thank you for everyone listening on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as listening to this on podcast. Jasmine, Tommy, Maddie, and Benny, the intern on the other side of the camera with you here on the EST Hangout, which is presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transitions. Canadian storage provider by Canadian. Right now, it is that May Madness going on. 50% off 12 weeks on all units, or you can get 75% off 8 weeks on 10x10 units, or it's 4 weeks free on selected units. People in this city, pretty happy.
They should be. That was a very exciting win. Very exciting. Thank you to Connor and everybody over at Hudson's White. It was awesome. All the nasties, good turnout. Jazzy's she's tired today.
You're saying that.
She's tired today.
Everybody's tired today.
You said it 19 times in the 6 minutes you've been here.
I think Dusty went to bed, he said, at 1 o'clock last night, and he was on air at 6.
Well, he's producing smash hit songs. So
Urban Dictionary defines a gentleman's sweep as when a team wins a playoff series but loses one game in the series. A team is said to have let the other team win one game before sweeping
so it not modified.
When it also another definition, when a sports team wins a playoff series in 5 games instead of a sweep.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not necessarily, it's a modified sweep.
Okay.
I would say, I guess.
I don't care.
This is, I think, by definition, I believe this is a gentleman's sweep. So you don't even have to use modified Edmonton right now.
Okay.
You could just go out there and just go around town talking about such a gentlemanly sweep.
And speaks
that the Edmonton Oilers have.
With an obnoxious accent in your voice or cadence, because that's what the boys did for a good chunk of that show.
I think Eric's was the best. When he was doing hot takes, I think he was the most on point with what was needed.
He was not wearing pants today.
He actually wasn't.
I put it on Instagram. I reposted it on our station account. That was as raw, real, and emotional as it gets, I suppose. But what a series.
What a series is right.
Well, okay. What is more into this series? How impressive the Edmonton Oilers were, or how bad the Vegas Golden Knights were?
I don't think Vegas was bad.
You don't think they were bad? You just think the Oilers were that much good or that much better?
Yeah. I'll give credit to the Edmonton Oilers and how well they played.
Like if I gave you 100 points and you had to put some into the Vegas Golden Knights didn't play and the Edmonton Oilers played great. What do you throw? How many are you throwing into the Oilers bin, and how much are you throwing into the Golden Knights?
Is it like broken up into brackets and silos, or is it just in general?
In general, the Vegas Golden Knights not playing well enough, and the Oilers just were the better team for the most part. Where would you put that percentage at?
I would give 65% of the points to the Oilers and 35% to the Golden Knights.
Yeah,
and I think it was more so the Oilers taking away.
Yeah.
The majority of the points from the Golden Knights. That's how I would describe that scenario.
That's fair.
From my observation.
I don't think there was a lot of concern. I think even amongst Oiler fans and media and all that, there was the people worried about the Kings. Mm-hmm. I'll raise my hand up on that one.
You among many?
There was those that weren't. Going into this series, I don't think there was that concern. I think for the most part, across the board, in this city, it was Golden Knights aren't going to be as big of it. Aren't a team that's going to beat the Oilers. I think it was just how many games were the Oilers going to get it. Mm-hmm. You were more 6-7. I think most people were 6-7.
Yeah.
It was after game 1, then everyone's like, this is going to be done in 4 or 5. And then it ended up being that way. I think everyone was right with the 6-7 of what it should have been when we went into this, but the Oilers just took over.
They won every game in Vegas in this series.
Yeah, isn't that something?
That is.
Beautiful.
Vegas finished 2-4 at home this playoffs.
I didn't even realize that.
That's the fortress. Edmonton won the only home game in this series. It only lasted 5 games, pardon me, but they won the only home game.
Well, and then the other game, it was...
They scored on themselves to provide
Who knows?
the gentleman's sweep.
That could have been a sweep. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Oilers were scoring in overtime in that one.
And so we talked about, like we always do, and we will going into the conference final. We do a breakdown of the team. We'll go by each category of the team: defense, goaltending, forwards, special teams, all that stuff, coaching staff, whatever. And I think outside of depth at forward, Vegas had the check marks. I would say Edmonton had the better goaltending, hands down, between the two guys. Aiden Hill was the third best goalie in this series.
I don't even think that's close.
Yeah. And Edmonton's defense was better than Vegas' defense.
Well, yeah, if there was a concern going into this series is, okay, how's Bouchard, how's Klingberg after the Kings series? How are some of those guys going to maybe handle some of the physicality of the Vegas Golden Knights?
Yeah.
They shined.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Like Evan Bouchard had a fantastic series.
We didn't speak poorly of him once this entire series.
So refreshing.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Jazzy's right.
This whole series has been so refreshing. The game last night was 0-0. There was overtime. It was 1-0. Like, this is the playoffs. And the Oilers did this.
They did. They played a very thorough series. Connor McDavid, I don't know if Jazzy, if you were still having some vinos at this point, but we ran his audio post game, and he was like a little bit ornery. He's like, I don't know how many times we got to answer this, but we can play solid defense. We can defend, and he had a few like little barbs in there where I was like, wow, this guy, after just winning that series, is firing. He's clapping back.
That's a pissed off McDavid.
I like it.
Which is what you want.
This is
You're
great.
right.
Continue to be angry and elevate your game, which I feel like you can't say he won't. So
You're right. Pissed off McDavid. And it's showing the other teams that he's hungry. And he's not satisfied, even though you're in the conference finals.
he's saving his points for the conference final and Stanley Cup final. Although, like, Draisaitl did get an assist on the winner last night. And those two are still... Connor was second, and what was it? Leon tied for third going into action yesterday. Leon got the only point out of the two of them yesterday.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's incredible that they through the two series, have we had that game where Connor and Leon have completely taken it over? And it's been the Connor and Leon game, kind of.
In
I was
the
trying
Kings
to
series,
think
did
of
we have
in
that?
both of the series. I don't really.
Game one for Connor.
Yeah, 100%.
Benny.
But of which series? The Kings?
Kings.
But a loss.
Yes.
Still.
Correct.
Right? Like, I'm just like, so yeah, but that still gets stands. He had one of those games there. But that also was a poor start. And then they had to come back. Like, I don't think we've seen really for a full game almost.
Game 3, I'm thinking, but that was honestly that was more Bouchard. Than
Yeah.
anything.
And that's where it is. It's like just one of those things where the depth of this team, it's the 4 lines, it's the 3 pairings, it's the 2 goaltenders, just completely, they're producing it. You don't need Connor and Leon to be going off, putting up 4 points each every night. And they could just slow it, like they could get their rest on the bench, and because they know that when the other lines are out there, good things are going to happen. And look, who's the hero of the night? The guy claimed off of waivers in Kapanen, who comes on and had a great 2 games.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Well, the first game, he was hitting
First game he was
everyone.
good, yeah.
He was all over them.
He
And
was
then
fine
just
yesterday.
when you score the game-winning goal and send yourself to the conference final, like that's a great game now at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Thanks, St. Louis.
So it's
What a weird twist of fate with the Blues.
Absolutely. What a weird twist of fate. You're right.
For the time being.
Mo had a
short term. Right now, short term.
Thank you. Yes.
Mo had a message here in the nasty chat. Mo, nice seeing you last night. In a night where the Leafs wet the bed, a former Leaf sends the Oilers to the WCF. It's kind of
Yeah, we'll get to that other game a little bit later.
Yeah.
That was something.
There's a lot happening.
I'll go around the room on this one. So, Benny, get ready to jump in here. I think one of the players that was kind of surprised in terms of good play in the first round was John Klingberg. Did anyone's play surprise you with how well they played in this series for the Edmonton Oilers?
I mean, yeah, Klingberg was the answer for the first round. Kapanen was the only other guy. I think after that, everyone, maybe Henrique. I thought Henrique had a very good defensive, and then obviously his 2 goals in game 4 were very valuable. So I can't even say I'm surprised with Kulak. He's been great in the playoffs the past couple of years. I don't know. This whole team is just I feel like their best for each player was there the whole series pretty much.
Stu Skinner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stu.
Exactly. Again, a shutout.
Yep.
All the way to OT.
He handled it really well after that tough loss in game 3.
Yes.
That was a surprisingly poised comeback, bounce back, redemption story, whatever you want to call it. Good for him. More of that, please, because he's got the net going into round 3 right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no changing that now. 2 shutouts, that's a statement right there. Mm-hmm. You've really sent a message to yourself. In large, this is my net, and that's the one thing you always have to wonder, and especially after how it did end in that first game, then you wonder, okay, well, what's going to happen here? And no, against the Vegas Golden Knights, just solid performances and some really key saves in that one. The one I go to Bouchard just straight up, just because there was no negative talk of Bouchard in this series. It was one of those we just talked about. The people are already talking about the contract. I'm yeah, well, he's getting his 10, 11 million, whatever. But he's earning it through these playoffs. This is the playoff Bouchard we saw last year. Yep. You know, he's producing in the moments that you absolutely need him to. And with Ekholm gone, he's stepping up even without Ekholm around. So that's the one I'm pleasantly surprised at just how much not that he's not a good defenseman, didn't know that, just that after the season that he had, going up against the Golden Knights, there wasn't a single mad moment that we really saw of Evan Bouchard where we're oh my God, we're going to be talking about this post game.
Good point.
And you go back to the first series, even though there was the game, there was the one game where was that game 3 or 4 where there was bad, but then he turned it all around and you got the good and it was all in one game. There was none of that in this series. It was just good throughout with Evan Bouchard.
Yes. Perfect way to describe him.
And like you say with Skinner, more of that, please, as you get ready for the Dallas Stars or the Winnipeg Jets.
I think I'm not surprised by Bouchard. I think just because I've always believed that he is a playoff guy when everybody was giving him so much heat in the postseason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's interesting that you say that.
Well, it's just that we don't see the bad. We saw it in the playoff performer, yes, but he did it against the Kings. We saw it. Mm-hmm. And then you're going up against a different team in the Golden Knights, and there was no stumbles.
Yeah.
That's the part that I'm just impressed with, that elevation from him that we saw there. Especially, there is the pressure of the contract still, too. He's playing on that, too. And I wondered throughout the season how much was that playing on his mind.
I think it was.
I feel like he's probably found a way to get it out of his mind in the playoffs, maybe because of the pressure of the playoffs. The pressure of the cup. There's no point worrying about yourself and what your contract's going to be. You want that Stanley Cup ring. And then deal with all that stuff later.
Yeah.
And I think that's what comes with experience, right? Because maybe that was also hanging on his head last season. And I think that they already experienced that and he wants the cup now and the contract is far beyond him. You also brought up Ekholm. I was saying last night to the Nasties, I'm I totally forgot that we're missing him. Which is a good problem to have.
He's still weeks away at best, so don't. Maybe we get him back. No. Mm-hmm. Shh. Let the Viking rest.
Just rule him out.
He's in his chamber.
Yeah.
Just cheer for the Winnipeg Jets tonight.
There you go.
Cheer loudly.
Extend the series.
Jets. Yes. Yeah. Cheer for the Winnipeg Jets tonight. Then I don't care. Do whatever you want for Game 7 in that sense. But you want this series to go 7.
Yeah.
So you need to, because tonight's Game 5. So no, you need cheer for Winnipeg tonight, cheer for Winnipeg in the next game, and then in Game 7 you cheer for whoever you want at that point. You need to be a Jets fan for the next two if you're the Edmonton Oilers, just because you want this series to go as long. Well, and I'm thinking, some actually might not want to go as long as possible because they don't want the Oilers to have that long break.
Right.
So maybe you just want it to go 6.
I was thinking this.
You don't want it in 5.
No, exactly. I was thinking this on my drive in. I was like, I know that the boys were. Actually, I was laughing because the calls that 1050 was taking. And I'm like, I was getting like deja vu flashbacks to when we were still taking some calls, not a ton. And that Wizard of Oz one was just, I'm like, that's the epitome of it. I'm like, that's why we stopped taking calls. I remember when you told me, you're like, no, texts are better. They piss off less people. They still get people fired up, but it's less draining. And some of that Wizard of Oz call, I was like, oh my goodness. And I know we're dumping on the Leafs, and they deserve it because they got their asses kicked last night. But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, even if Toronto gets one more win, force that 7th game. Just buy a little bit more time for everybody.
Well, not even. Well, okay. If you're the Oilers, and like if you're the fans, obviously, which you are, force the Panthers to play another game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in that sense, force them to have to go through one more game.
Yeah,
force them to have to go back to Toronto and deal with one more game. And maybe the Leafs get the win. And, I don't know who the Oilers would rather face. But if it's the Panthers, who cares? Force them to play more hockey. Like, go. God, everyone, the Oilers get to take that break right now. And we knew going into the playoffs, a little bit hurt. Now through the 2 series, a lot of those players maybe not as hurt, and it was a lot more precaution. But still, there's still some bangs and bruises, and they've been added on throughout these playoffs. Take that little rest, take that little break. But let everyone else keep playing. Let everyone else keep battling. Let everyone else have those pucks. Hopefully the Capitals win tonight and force the Canes to another. Like, you may face them in the Stanley Cup final. Any extra bruise that might happen, go for it. Do it. Yes. Have at her. Enjoy the second round, everyone. See you mid next week, hopefully.
That would be lovely.
Then we all get a little bit of a break too.
Let's call it a repose, if you will.
Maybe go get some golf in.
Yeah.
It'd be wonderful to maybe go hit the driving range. Maybe go check out a little bit of Elks training camp and stuff. Yeah, that's stuff. It'd be. Let us have a little bit. Having the weekend right now is there.
Knock on drywall.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Okay, we got a new texter here. First time texter, 780-218-9999. Edmonton Sports Talk. You know it is. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Says, more talk needed about Podkolzin. He is an unsung hero of the past few games. Hard forecheck, making plays, helps Draisaitl get the puck. Yeah, he dishes the puck right away to Leon Draisaitl every chance he gets. It's a simple formula. Draisaitl fighting it a bit, but still finding ways to put up points. Maybe not doing it as impactfully flashy as he has in previous points of the season, but I'm sure he'll rediscover that. I think Vegas played Draisaitl tough, and I think that was a heady move by the coaching staff to put 2 bigger bodies, and including Podkolzin, back with Leon to kind of change the dynamic of his line. Maybe create a little more space for Leon, but it actually worked. And to the texter's point, Podkolzin was solid. Every time he saw number 7 in gold and desert gray or whatever the hell they call it, he smashed him into the wall. It was great. That's what you need.
I don't know what it is, but the Oilers are wanting to play physical against the Golden Knights.
I think a couple of years ago, they learned a lesson from them. And
Podkolzin wasn't there for that, he's bought into that.
I mean, the message, though, is there. Yeah. Podkolzin, okay, hit guys. Hit number 7. I don't like number 7. Hit him. Does it. Very simple, and it worked. Effective.
By the way, this is Hangout Headlines brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club. From premier golf facilities to the corporate branded products to Ranch. Your all-in-one tournament host, proud host over 180 tournaments each year, including the EST Golf Classic presented by Play Alberta. They're here to help you execute all your tournament ideas. Book your tournament today. Visit theranchgolf.com. Just briefly on the Golden Knights, I'm fascinated to see now what they do. Is there, they have been a team over the last number of years that have traded away prospects and picks completely. Mm-hmm. And you always have to wonder, when does it run out on them? When do they have to take that dip? Alex Pietrangelo is not getting any younger.
Mark Stone can't stay healthy.
Right? Yeah, he was out yesterday.
It's one of those. I'm curious what they're off, because Kelly McCrimmon also is not afraid to go do things. He's not afraid to make. He's cutthroat. He makes moves. Are they going to be able to go retool? Because they 110 points this regular season, but it wasn't a convincing 110 points in a way.
Yeah, they're consistent this year. I go back to this. Like, it was Lawless who said it. And I think a couple of people, like Granger might have said it, maybe even Ken Belke from Sinbin. Ken was great, by the way, on the pregame shows for us. Something was off about the Golden Knights, especially, and you saw it more down the stretch where they'd look good, like their typical selves, and then they'd go on a 5-day lull, and you're like, they just didn't have the jam. It's like, what happened? Why'd you guys blow that game? Why'd you blow that game? That one against the bottom feeder was closer than it needed to be. And Gary, I remember, just kind of said, something seems off. And I think that carried through, and we saw that. The Oilers found a way to expose it in that series. And Minnesota might have gotten a piece of that too. Yeah. So you're right, Maddie. I think that there's going to probably be some changes. McCrimmon is very cutthroat. They do have good pieces. I think they probably want to get younger.
Yeah, and quicker. Ken from Sinbin on the post game said they have 2 good prospects and no other likely NHLs in their prospect pool, which makes it tougher to go maybe make trades and deal with things. But maybe, like, if there's one team that maybe could find a way to do it, it is the Golden Knights. They're the ones you have to believe in.
Yeah.
But there also comes a point that they've been good since inception.
True.
And when does it fall? And the fact that first round exit last year to the Stars, even though they were up 2-0 in that series, they went into Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, and took the 2 and then blew that series. Their goaltending was a weird spot. They had a lot of injuries. It was weird last year. And then this year, second round exit, and got pushed by Minnesota in that series a little bit. And then the Oilers, it took care of business. It wasn't even, we're not talking about a long series here. And
no.
For the large, while the Golden Knights did play well, they never really felt like, this is their series. They're going to have the Oilers' number.
They're young. Let's call them stars. They're young stars. I'm talking Hurdle.
Yeah.
Dorofeev.
Yeah.
Olofsson played all right early in the season. Theodore's relatively... not Theodore's been around for a while, but yeah, he's a star. They're young. Barbashev. Like, I counted it yesterday. I was going through the game logs after the pregame and postgame. I think Barbashev and Hurdle both 7-game pointless streaks in the playoffs. They didn't have a point since like game 4 against Mini, something like that.
I'm trying to remember the tweet
Donuts
I saw yesterday.
Across the board.
Was it the Kapanen? Was it just Kapanen more goals and listed a bunch of? Was that the tweet? You saw that one? His Kapanen was better than had more goals this series than Eichel, and like it's just a bunch of Golden Knights players. Like, geez, like,
yeah,
they're best, and now credit to Pickard and Skinner.
Yes,
in that too.
And I'll give this to you to read.
Especially, I'll say especially more Skinner because like 2 games you don't allow a goal. Incredible.
Yeah. And that ties into this.
I don't even care about the stuff with Skinner this season and being pulled. Just any goal getting 2 shutouts in the playoffs and back-to-back games is always going to be impressive.
Hell yeah, it is.
And he went and he did that, and it's just incredible.
Jazzy's got some stats for us.
Okay, so points from depth scorers since 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs.
For the Oilers.
For the Oilers is, so in 2025, it's 59 points in 10 games. In 2024, 53 points in 25 games. 2023, 51 points in 12 games. And 2022, 37 points in 16 games.
So huge depth scoring this year. 59 points in 10 games. Whereas last year, a cup run, 53 in 25.
This is a different team.
2023, they did have 51 in 12, which is pretty good. But yeah, this is different.
This is different, and it feels different.
So far.
This is the experience that they speak of, correct?
Correct. Thank you, Bryden, for sending in that stat.
Thank you.
I found the tweet. Kasperi Kapanen finishes the series with more goals than Jack Eichel, Thomas Hurdle, Pavel Dorofeev, Ivan Barbashev, Brett Howden, and Brandon Saad combined.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. Now, I know there's some injuries in there for some of those guys missing a couple of games.
Yeah.
But Dorofeev missed a couple.
Yeah, he missed early games.
But still, Kapanen did too. And he scored a goal. You know, and that's like, it's just, and then that's where I go to like, how much did the Golden Knights not show up, but also how much better were just the Edmonton Oilers in aspects. And for that, credit to then the defense and goaltending for not allowing those guys to score and stuff. And just Just a wild series, and now it's on to the Western Conference Final, where right now it's likely the Dallas Stars and the rematch of the Western Conference Final from last year. But until it's done, it's not officially over. Dallas does feel like that would be a fun series again, though. Like two heavyweights coming at it. You add Rantanen to the Stars. What is this series now going to be? And I would like to think the Stanley Cup comes from that series. I'd really like to think that that's the case. That the Canes don't scare me. And I don't. Maybe the Panthers are turning it on.
They are.
Are the Canes
Is
a
it the
younger
Leafs?
team? Are they more of a younger team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. There are no real young teams in the final. What's left now? 7 teams?
Yeah, screw you, Vegas, in that sense. Tonight, the Capitals have a chance to have their season end, and the Jets possibly could have their season end. So we have those two elimination games later tonight. Tomorrow will be Panthers with the chance at home to eliminate the Maple Leafs, and then we'll proceed from there. If they all end, I could see potentially the Monday begin.
No, Tom wants 2-day weekend.
I think
3
we all
for
want
normal.
that.
And Monday's a holiday. Remember, don't forget.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's
why
why we're worried about Monday starts.
weekend. I have to work Saturday.
Tom is so excited that it's long weekend.
I had no idea. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's why I just need one series to extend tonight.
That exactly. Please.
And hopefully that's the Jets.
Please. For me.
For sure.
Let the Canes, if somebody has to sweep or end the series tonight, let it be the Canes.
Sure.
And then the Panthers and Leafs, even that could end tomorrow. As long as Jets and Stars end last. They'll start the Western Conference then even before the Eastern or before the Western.
Yeah.
So that could even start on Monday. They wanted to. Canes end tonight, Panthers end tomorrow. They could start that one on Monday, and Oilers and Stars can start on Tuesday.
By all means.
Great way to start a shortened week.
Love it.
I'm all for it.
Please and thank you.
Or start the Eastern Conference Final on Tuesday and Western Conference on Wednesday.
Sure.
That'd be wonderful as well.
Yes.
Let's
We all
just
have long weekend plans.
We do, and we don't want to add. Like,
Yeah, we
let's
don't
let
wanna
people.
watch
What does the
the
forecast
game.
even
Have
look
to
like
make
this
some.
weekend?
Yeah.
Saturday, 18 cloudy.
Okay.
That's not
Yeah.
bad though.
Not too bad.
With rain overnight, which is nice. Sunday, 19 cloudy. Maybe the sun could peek out, but I'll take that. I'll take like close to 20 degrees. Saturday, I'll be live at in Sherwood Park for Elks Fan Day. Fan Day goes 10 to 2, I believe.
Sherwood Park?
Yes, out in Sherwood Park, Emerald Hills.
Nice.
I will be on air with Jay from noon until 2. Hello Hockey's on from 10 until noon. You guys will be at Silent Ice Center?
Summit at the Silent Ice Center. Yep.
And then I will jump on after that, 12 to 2. Jay and I will have a little Elk show. We'll talk to some Elks there. But you could come on down to Fan Day, go watch the players practice. There's a lot of different activations. I think we'll have a raffle. I'll have a draw for a foursome, maybe to the ranch.
Oh,
that
sweet.
you could enter in for. And that'll be a fun day. I'll get my first look. And Jay's going to be coming because over there is where they do, his daughter's in a flag football thing. It's a really cool little setup that they have there for this flag football. And that was one thing actually I've looked at. I'm like, wow, CFL dropped the ball on that one. All the kids, they play on a team.
Yeah.
Like his daughter plays for the Packers. They're the Packers. And there's the Ravens, and then there's the Colts.
Do they have the colors?
Well, they have a shirt that has the name on it.
Okay, but do they have like the green and gold? Like Packers colors? Do you know?
Yeah, well, it's green and like with Packers
Yeah,
or
that's
something like
sick.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this is like, imagine if they were playing with Elks and Stamps.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll be a little weirder with the other teams, but it
that NFL
was
Canada,
a really cool setup that NFL Canada has created with
They
this.
have that flag football program,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It'd be cool. You know what would be a nice touch? I don't know if different brands, but they used to be somewhat partnered up. If they had CFL teams and NFL teams in this NFL
mix
Canada
them in.
flag football program.
That'd be awesome. You could be the Elks, take it on, or even just add the Elks.
Ravens versus the Stamps.
Just add the Elks at the very least.
Yeah.
Because maybe no one wants to be the Stamps in Edmonton,
don't
which I
think anybody-
respect.
I guess congratulations on Derrick Henry, his extension.
Yeah,
with the Ravens.
makes me happy.
How much?
Maddie, yeah.
Actually,
mil?
I didn't even look at it. It was
I think
just
it's
an extra
guaranteed
year.
25.
He was in his final year of
2
his deal,
years.
but it was a 2 year. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, he's locked
good.
in. The Ravens have a very difficult schedule to start the season. It's Bills, it's Bengals, it's Lions, it's Chiefs, it's Rams, I think, in their first 6 games. It's a devastating one. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Here.
I want to know who's like the favorite this year. I'd say Bengals, hopefully.
To win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No.
What do you think?
It's going to be the Chiefs. It's going to be the Eagles. It's going to be the 40. It's going to, well, they would be a favorite. You still can't count them out. If you're looking at who the favorites are, it'd be KC, it'd be the Lions, Bills. Those would be your top teams. Ravens kind of have to be thrown in there as well. Okay, let's do it quickly here.
What?
Who do you want to see if you're the Edmonton Oilers? Who's the better matchup for the Edmonton Oilers overall, actually? Is it going to be the Winnipeg Jets or is it the Dallas Stars? Just overall, Benny, who do you think is the better matchup for this team? If there is, and Tommy, you've said, I know you said it pre-yesterday, and like there is no easy matchup. We know that.
Absolutely.
So no one ever, that's not going to be easy. They're both, no, we get that. Which one is a better matchup for the Oilers?
If you want the Oilers to win, it's Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Like Connor Hellebuyck getting pulled 3 times in Edmonton would be pretty cool to watch. But like
playoff Winnipeg is
like they're
spotty.
Yeah, and I think like I don't think they have the defensive power to shut down what the Oilers got going right now. I think that like Dallas is a very, very deep team, and then they got their game breaker at the trade deadline. Like they scare me very badly. But I'm so confident like with how the Oilers are playing and everything, the depth scoring, all that, but you're cheering for Winnipeg to win this series if you're an Oilers fan. I think.
You want a miracle. Harness your fear.
Yeah.
Turn it into positive energy.
Yes.
Take in the bad. Make it good.
And just remember always, though, even if it's the Stars, no series is over until a home team loses.
Touche.
And it starts on the road.
Yeah, I think Winnipeg's the obvious answer. 0-9 in their last 9 road games. That's an awful stat. Very telling. Connor Hellebuyck, nowhere near Vezina caliber. Benny makes a good point about their defense. And I think yesterday on the Oil Stream, we were talking a little bit about it, guys. That group doesn't have the right makeup.
No.
When it comes down to crunch time.
Pressure gets to them or something. I don't know what, but
yeah,
they always drop the ball.
Yeah. And their conference final run was 7 years ago. You can't even
that long ago now.
It was 2018.
Wow.
Yep.
Jeez.
You can't even be like, well, this team made it to a conference final. It's like, yeah, they did, but we're close to a decade from that.
That was a loss to the Preds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I was gonna say like, me and my buddies were talking about this. Like, I feel so bad for teams like the Jets and like the Leafs and stuff because it's like they have these guys that perform so well in the regular season, and it's like you're like forced to pay them a crap ton of money, and then when it matters, they don't show up. So it's like you're kind of in this weird like dilemma of like we can't let the star player walk because like he's our team in the regular season.
You got to fill those seats.
But then when the playoffs come around, he doesn't show up. So it's like this like endless like you're in this cycle of like okay, paying a guy so much money for doing something regular season and not showing up. Like we're seeing that with like Matthews right now, even though he's probably hurt. But like you're paying him a crap ton of money. I mean, they're probably gonna let Marner walk, but like he's a guy that hasn't really shown up. Jets are doing it with Hellebuyck right now. Like it's a weird. You're in such a bad spot when you have your star players not showing up.
Apparently, there was a jersey toss last night.
Yeah,
Yep.
did you see it?
An Austin Matthews jersey.
Oh.
Chris Johnston tweeted it.
Who does that?
Your team's in the playoffs in the second rounds.
They're one of the best teams. Yeah.
Relax. Yeah.
That's one where I'm like, you don't. If you're gonna throw your jersey, like to me, that's reserved for your team's on a 20-game losing streak and you're at the bottom of the National Hockey League and your franchise is an utter embarrassment. We can't sit here and say the Toronto Maple Leafs are an embarrassment.
Of course.
They blow it in the playoffs. They fall flat on the face. But overall,
Stanley Cup champions can't like count the Panthers out either. Right?
But absolutely, a great point there.
Yeah.
And just add, like, if you want to actually even just go regular season success over the last 8 seasons or so, they're up there.
Yeah.
They're one of the top teams. And so, like, to throw your jersey on the ice, I'm sorry. Like, what are you upset about? Are you upset about the ticket price? We shouldn't have bought them then. What are you expecting? It's the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs right now. Like, Steve Dangle yesterday, I saw a clip of him in, like, one of the goals. And it's, like, embarrassing, by the way. I just got to throw that out.
When he
that
does the watch,
embarrassing.
he watches along.
Yeah,
with
and
the
Marner
game.
did this one goal, and just watching him just scream like a little child. Like, this is a quote unquote professional broadcaster right now. Really? Not gonna lie, that one was a bad. I didn't like that one.
Yeah.
We get it. Guy who tossed the jersey.
Multiple jerseys yesterday.
What?
Was there multiple?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Aiden O'Neill
Wow.
saying 2 tosses.
Goes to show the rich people are attending the games. With those ticket prices and tossing a jersey.
You're right.
Yeah, no, really, right?
these
Because you
things-
don't care. That means you're probably not a real fan either.
That's, yeah, like you're. Oh, what's the right term?
You're like a Moss Pit fan.
Ooh,
Ooh, I did it.
you went
If I
there.
see one more YEG Way video.
It's not good. It's kind of like thin-skinned fan.
Yeah, soft.
Yeah.
Or they're just looking for that. They want to be the.
But what are you getting out of it?
Attention
Did his
seeker?
brother,
Nobody knows who
did his
you are.
buddy film him for Insta?
Sure, exactly.
Put it on TikTok.
And then your
so he could
entire
post
fan
it
base
later?
thinks you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
If
Some
you
guys don't
truly love the team, as much heartache as it comes with and frustration, why you're disrespecting it by doing that in one of the worst ways as a fan.
Absolutely.
It has happened here, and it's
Yes, it has.
it's hard to watch because
Yeah. I love
like-
Ben Scrivens when he grabbed it and threw it back.
Ben, good
When
on
that
him for
happened,
doing that.
I really like that.
Yeah, I remember Akins came in with one of them, and he's like, "This represents,
Yes.
how much work we have to do, but this is not right." Yeah, I don't like the
Like the
jersey
series
toss.
is not over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they're done.
But yesterday felt over.
Yeah.
Watching that game,
Fair.
it felt like
Fair.
this was the series clincher without officially being the series
The
clincher.
first goal was scored.
But you're
in-
right.
The first goal was scored in how long? Was it immediately?
Was that an early goal? I thought it was.
'Cause there's one goal-
I think it was after 10-minute mark.
Okay, okay. And then
There was a few minutes in like, because I remember I had the game on here, and I feel like there was like 8 minutes into the period or something. And I saw 1-1 shots. I'm like, oh, this is a low shooting affair right now. So I don't think it was 1-0 at that time though.
And then in the second, it was 3 shots, right? Or sorry, 3 goals. Because I think that's when I tuned in, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch NBA because
Yeah.
this is over.
Yeah, I was setting up and I was casually watching, and the people that were at Hudson's were getting excited every time the Leafs got scored on. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, oh, wow, 5-zip, ooh, 6-zip, jeez.
13 minutes in.
Did you see the text about Frank? Frank put it out there, Saravalli, that the second round doesn't start any earlier than May 20th, apparently.
What's May 20th?
Tuesday.
Yay! Round of clicks.
Oh, I can see that in your eyes when you asked. What's May 20th?
I don't want to be
Tuesday.
the guy that's like, hey, everyone, you're coming into work
shows.
on Monday. We have to work on Monday.
The heel
We would
in
have
the long
Oh, he's
weekend.
good at
we would have
that.
had to do that, and I'm just like waiting and like, when do I have to like break the news? But now it's like, okay, everyone now is okay. Go enjoy your long weekends. Okay,
That was Stanzi who sent that.
that makes me so happy. Thank you very much for that. Oh, that's great.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
We all get to just enjoy the long weekend.
And like the anxiety for everybody to be like, oh, should I make reservations? I got to switch my plans around because that was me. My cousins, my Canucks cousins, are coming into town. I have another bridal shower in
course.
Ice District, in one of the Ice District restaurants. So like they were panicking about parking and all that for the guests. Like a lot was going on. Then my brother and I were like, we got to entertain my cousins. We got to make retions.
Oh,
My cousins
yes.
are huge NHL people at the same time. They are watching the Oilers games. So it's just a lot of stress going on. So thank you and enjoy.
this is
Good,
wonderful.
Wonderful.
Max
it.
Bezzozu, I don't get it. Iwanyk is a sports event. I'm just gonna. I
Who
don't.
and what now?
I don't know what that one means. It was 13 minutes in that the Panthers scored. Says Chris on that one. But I guess Jasmine's right though. The Leafs go and take one in Florida tomorrow. It is at best of 7. Like there's one game left, so I guess it isn't over. It just does feel that way watching that the Panthers are on a different level right now, and the Leafs. It's why Oiler fans should feel fortunate that you got these superstars here in Connor and Leon, notably. I'll throw Bouchard into this mix right now. And throughout their careers, they stepped up in the big moments.
Yep.
Largely.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's true.
And you look at that core of Toronto, and they don't show up in the playoffs. And it's how many straight years have we talked about the Leafs and said they need to change their core? And it's probably at the very least to the last 2 summers where it was they need to get rid of at least someone. They need to go do something different. Last one seemed like, okay, it's happening. They're got to get rid of him. And they brought it back one more time. And now it's like, wow, like it's better for them probably not to have Marner around for playoff success. But it's also one, you didn't even get rid of this asset and bring in anything.
That's what do they call them? The Fab Four? It's Tavares is
Core 4, isn't it?
Core 4.
Or was it Fab 4? Did they call them Fab 4? Yeah, Core 4.
Somebody in the group or in the text line was like, it's hard to win when your guys have European carry-alls and wear earrings. And I'm like, whatever, they have style. Football players and basketball
they
do
got
that.
style. I can't hate on that.
They do that too, yeah.
I always say, Matthews has incredible style.
No, he doesn't. But I did laugh at that. His style sucks. I think it's absolutely putrid. But whatever. William Nylander has way better style than Austin.
He does have style too, actually. You're right.
Yeah. And he diddle.
Yeah, it's funny how people were so worried about the Leafs and Leafs in the finals. I knew this was gonna happen. Not surprised at all. Hence why I'm like, well, I'm watching Association. It's a waste of time watching the Leafs.
Well, I mean, it could be entertaining to watch them get their butts kicked.
Yeah,
Last night was entertaining.
Yeah.
I will say, because Hernan setting up for pregame and stuff, and I was like, "It's 4-0," like, and like you're just like, "Oh, another goal!"
Yeah,
like it's just, like, it was just like, wow, like they're piling on.
It was. I think there was like 8 or 9 minutes left, and the building was very empty.
And I'm trying to remember. In that first period, there was a few really good, like, actually, no one throughout, that first period, there was a couple really big chances the Leafs had to score that first goal, I think it was. Or was it the tying goal? I don't remember who they were, but they were in alone. There was 2 of them, and Bobrovsky made a couple of really nice saves. And it was like that, what a turning point that could have been if the Leafs got that first one, the place blows up. Who knows how that plays out? But too bad. All the Panthers move on. And it's Panthers, Canes, potentially, likely, Oilers,
Panthers,
Stars as we look at the conference finals. And a lot of old wounds for the Edmonton Oilers as they're looking at it. Now, they did beat the Stars last year, but you've got the 90s history with the Stars, 06 with the Canes, last year with the Panthers. It's an interesting final 3 that the Edmonton Oilers are looking at for the next 2 rounds potentially here.
And I mentioned this before, but I personally think the Oilers would be a better matchup with Dallas. I know Benny's kind of scared of Dallas, but this is exactly why. They beat them last year. They play more games with them this season. They know their style of hockey. I don't think the Oilers are whatsoever scared of the Stars. And I did mention, this is also before the Jets blew it last game here, but the Jets would be someone I would be afraid of just because they were supposed to be the better team. This is before Hellebuck is not playing great hockey, and that they don't have that much experience with the Jets.
Right.
But yeah, completely. So anyways, I would choose Dallas. Completely fine with that. Not to worry, Benny. Not to worry, my friend.
I'm now shaking over here. So scared.
And like the Kings were, I feel like the Kings were a harder matchup than Vegas was.
I agree. I would have rather seen the Golden Knights in the first round, I remember saying, over the Kings, because I was more worried about the Kings and the Golden Knights. I didn't see 5.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it is very impressive just how quick work the Oilers took care of business. Actually, here's the first time in how long have the Oilers actually not done things the kind of the easy way?
Cheers to Knobs.
You know?
Yeah.
They always like to do hard. They right?
They
like,
give us a headache.
Yes. Yeah.
Stress
I guess
us out.
they always like to do it's a little bit harder. And it's,
Even in the Calgary series, like after game 1, everyone's going, "Oh boy!" Like,
Holy.
are the Oilers gonna get a save this series? I also think like I think LA's reputation is so different because the Oilers have taken it to them for 4 years. Like, I think if they had different matchups, there's a good chance they go on a run either to the second round or maybe even conference final one of these years, and they're looked at as more of a scary team. But
Yeah.
I think it's because they've just played the Oilers 4 straight years in a row, and the Oilers have their number. Like, everyone kind of brushes them off a little bit, even though a lot of people took LA over Edmonton this year. Mm-hmm. I think that was more just Edmonton not looking as great in the regular season than anything. But I think it's just LA's reputation is changed because they've played Edmonton so much. they're probably a scarier team than what Vegas was, and obviously we saw that in this playoff at least.
Yeah. Good point.
Thank God a bridal shower cake was saved. You guys know, you know. And like Ratnan, like he's amazing, but who else are we worried about?
The Johnston,
Robertson
for sure.
Yeah. Sagan's had some good moments. Yeah.
being a
Heiskanen's back.
pretty, yeah,
Rupe Hintz always.
that's a
brings the
complete
Oilers,
hockey team on the other side.
But you also haven't seen 100 of McDavid and Dry either.
No, but the Dallas Stars were a lot of people's Stanley Cup favorites for a reason going into these playoffs. Like they are a complete hockey team.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of good talent over there, and you know, even though like, he is on the fourth line, there is still Jamie Benn who brings some veteran leadership still to that team, and the atmosphere. Duchesne. And the atmosphere there is a good one.
It's
too.
a good
Yeah,
hockey
Like
market.
you're going to a
Especially
good
when
hockey
teams
market.
playing
You're
well.
going to a place that when that team's trailing, if they're trailing, they get the energy behind them to try to get their team going. Look, we thought the Central was going to be this beat up, and now the first series did go 7, and now but they're just taking care of business with the Jets, and they're not getting as beat up potentially if they win tonight going into this. There's a lot of reasons I would say to be. To look at the Stars, I'm like, that's a worry. That's going to be difficult. That's going to be hard.
Yes.
See, I feel like the Jets are just playing poorly, and this is why it's showcasing Dallas so hard. Whereas, like, Vegas still brought it against the Oilers, but the Oilers are just really good.
Yeah, they had an answer for everything.
Yeah.
I haven't really watched intensely in Winnipeg and Dallas, but like listening to Huss and Dusty on Lock Shop and stuff, and from what I've seen from those series, it starts with Hellebuck. It seems like, and then they're talking about the Jets' defense, and then guys not showing up and putting up offense either. It just feels like one thing has led to another. It's a little bit of a domino effect. But my understanding of it, again, I haven't just studied that series at all, outside of listening to what the boys have to say about it. I'm listening.
And the flip side might be the Stars just doing what they need to win these games.
Yeah.
They don't need to pick it up anymore. If Hellebuck's going to let in weak goals when they're in Dallas, okay, we'll take them. We don't have to turn it on. We don't need Rantanen to turn it on every single game.
But he is, which is crazy. And another thing, you talk about like Hellebuck. I thought it was interesting. Huss said this yesterday. Hellebuck was describing the first Granlund goal, and he called it a perfect shot. And I think Huss was insinuating like Hellebuck's being really defensive on it instead of being like, I should have had that, good shot, but that save's got to be made. Instead, he's going
with excuses.
That was a perfect shot. Like, I don't know what you expect from me.
How do you think Ottinger's game has been?
Seems like it's steady.
Yeah, steady is a good word.
Jake
defending him.
Ottinger. Let's take a look at his playoff numbers for these playoffs.
I'm going to read this in the meantime from Ranger Next says, I know we should all be happy about the Oilers, but it's hilarious that even in Edmonton, people are talking about how the Leafs laid a big fat egg. I had a parlay in MLB, NBA, and NHL. $10 would have paid me out $700.
Oh, dang.
Do the Leafs cost him? Well, don't put the Leafs in your parlay. Sorry, but
Sorry.
I apologize on that one, but yeah, you're playing with fire, throwing the Leafs into something right now in the playoffs. So goals allowed, average, save percentage. I'll go through the two series. It was 4 goals, 833 save percentage, 3 goals, 919 save percentage, 1 goal, 964 save percentage, 3 goals, 912, 2 goals, 929, 5 goals, 891, 2 goals, 926. And then in this series, 2 goals, 935, 3 goals, 875, 2 goals, 923, 1 goal, 969. So pretty solid playoffs, I would say, from Jake Ottinger against 2 really good opponents in there. If I'm going to average that out, he's got a 917 save percentage, 2.55 goals allowed average through these playoffs, and is sitting at 7-4.
Well, Oilers had 2 shutouts.
They did.
Nah.
But last year, What did the Oilers do to him? He was pretty. I remember looking this up a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't bad in the series. 3 goals, 1 goal, 3 goal, 4 goal, 3 goal, 2 goal. Oh, he started off and then he fell. 921, 966, 900 save percentage through the first 3, but then it was 857, 885, 800 as the Oilers finished them off.
I was gonna say like how often do the Oilers get goalied by teams or by a goalie in a series? Like in the McDavid era, like how many times have the Oilers not been able to figure out a goalie?
Regular season or postseason?
Postseason.
Hellebuck in 2021.
Yep.
Where it was all 1-goal games.
Yeah. Jets did such a good job keeping the Oilers to the outside, and they just couldn't get in the middle.
Yeah, and that exposed Edmonton. That was a true season where they had a lack of depth.
Yeah.
Every LA King goalie, in the end, they figured out.
Yeah.
They did figure out
Canucks.
Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
Not Aiden Hill. Was it Aiden? No,
it was
Laurent Brossoit. They figured out Laurent
They figured him out
Brossoit.
before Hill came in.
But how did Hill do in the rest of those games? Because the Oilers had a lead in every game, right?
Yeah, but Hill stood on his head.
Did he?
He was fired up. He was
Trying to
waiting in
remember
the
that one.
weeds. He was injured. I think they still had Leonard that season. They had Laurent Brossoit. They traded for Jonathan Quick. Logan Thompson was around then.
Okay. So in that series in Edmonton in 23, so I'll take away the game in relief. He had a shutout and wait, that's a weird one. He played 47 minutes and 48 seconds. He played 20 minutes. Oh, must have got pulled and then he got brought in. Brossoit got pulled and then got hurt in the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the one game, he didn't give up a goal in 47 minutes. Then he gave up 4-3-2 to the Oilers. Like, so they were scoring on Aiden Hill even to a degree in that series. In that third game where the Oilers lost, he had a 950 save percentage, so he's pretty good on that one. Pavel Francouz. Did they score a lot in that series?
That series, it was...
Because game 1 was a ridiculous scoring game.
Yeah.
8-7, I think.
Yeah, that series, I think it was... I remember talking about that series, and Edmonton would try different things each game. Are we going to go 11-7? Are we going to load up the top guys in nuclear option? Are we going to spread it out? And it was like anything Woodcroft and the coaching staff came up with strategy-wise game to game, there was always an answer from Colorado. That's how well they were playing and the type of well-oiled machine, I should have used that term, they were at that point. And it was just like anything the Oilers fired at Colorado, whether it was Francouz or Kemper for a brief point of that first game, Colorado had the answer. They blanketed the Oilers.
France, 3 goals allowed, shutout, 2 goals allowed, 5 goals allowed, even though the Oilers lost. But that was a 6-5 loss.
That was they always had an answer or response to Edmonton in that series. It felt like,
but like that, those are almost like the closest of where the Oilers haven't been able to kind of figure it out.
They figured out Markstrom.
They figured out Markstrom.
Ottinger.
Yeah.
Shilovs.
Yeah.
All four of the LA Kings.
They figured out Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky by the end of it,
they figured him out.
1 goal.
Right? Like he was brilliant in those first couple of games. And then I was thinking, like, here's Conn Smythe. This guy is probably going to have that trophy at the end of it. And then in the end, he even in a win, he can't take it because he got beaten. He got pulled at least in one of the games.
Yeah, Stolarz went in, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
And then that game 6 here, that was just it was an onslaught.
So that's where it's like, for the narrative in the regular season, often we hear about the Oilers get goalie. The Oilers get goalie.
Mm-hmm.
I think
once
we
you get
use
to the
that
playoffs,
too liberally. Yeah.
It's way too loosely.
But you're right. Yeah.
Way too loosely. It's the excuses for the Oilers almost too much. Well, the other goalie just is your goalie. No, the Oilers just couldn't score goals. They weren't playing well.
They had 32 shots from 75 feet out. Great. Good luck. Good point.
I wonder if that plays in goalies' heads a little bit. Even if you start off while you're going, this team's going to figure me out or something. I'd be fascinated what goes on in like a goal.
If you're a head case, yes. And if you overthink things, definitely. But I think most of these guys are pretty steely in their minds and like they can compartmentalize it pretty good. But like if it was Robin Lehner when he was still in the league, you get in his mind. It's good night, Jim Kite.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Edmonton Sports Talk, proudly presented by Play Alberta. Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app, sign up today at playalberta.ca. Jasmine, Tommy, Matt, and Benny with you here on the Hangout. Coming up at 11 o'clock, we do got the lock shop. We got two guys and a goalie. We got EST afternoons. We got the Reed Wilkins show. We have Turf District. I should double check. I wonder if I think the heavy hockey guys might be going later tonight. I'll have to double check on them as well. So lots to come here in Edmonton Sports Talk throughout the up until 6 o'clock on all of our platforms, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. Then our audio stream a little bit later. Reminder, we are home to Riverhawks games and Stingers games this year as well. If you go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com, in the drop-down menu, you'll see Stingers and Riverhawks pages. There's our broadcast schedule for them. We will now be able to carry the Stingers game on Friday on the station.
Excellent.
6:30. I think they're out in Winnipeg for that one. We get to play that one because now there's no Oiler pre and post game show.
Perfect.
So we're gonna have the Edmonton Stingers for you right here in Edmonton Sports Talk later this week. I know Dusty brought this up yesterday on his show, and I brought it up on the Hangout earlier this week. Do you remember that voting thing that we're a part of?
Yes.
So you can go nominate us. Go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com, click on Go Nominate, and it's a fun.
I sent it to so many people.
A fine gentleman such as this would appreciate it with the tip of the cap.
And I honestly don't even know what this thing is.
We want it, though.
Just because as Dusty said, it's the bit. We want the bit for this. I don't know who Community Votes is, Edmonton or something.
But we love community votes.
And we're nominated. We're going for the radio station of the year. So we're making it easy for you.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you the long URL that's ridiculously hard to figure out. EdmontonSportsTalk.com, click on Go Nominate, and then just nominate Edmonton Sports Talk. I think you can do it like once every 2 days or something like that.
It's one click. It's literally just click it once. You
Yes.
have to put an email address in, nothing.
But with this,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, no, this just came in 10 minutes ago to my email.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations, you've been nominated into the category Marketing and Advertisement in the Community Votes Edmonton campaign.
Wow.
A campaign recognized the best businesses and services.
Yeah, I guess.
We're in the Marketing and Advertisement too. I don't want the radio station one. I want this one now.
Good job, Jay, and the marketing team.
This is what I want.
But formidable marketing team.
I want to go in this one.
Yeah.
So if you go to Go Nominate, it'll take you to the radio station. So go on the page and go find the Marketing and Advertisement.
Wow.
And click Go Nominate for us.
Okay. I mean, we've put out absolutely no ads, essentially. We did
That YouTube ad was really strong.
Boom. And I think we were on Instagram. We did one in year
The
one.
exact same ad.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's that.
we're on the quest now for Marketing and Advertisement, as well as best radio station for community votes. We want to sweep the awards now.
Let's go, baby. We did have a quick chat about this. It was like off the record. No minutes were taken in this one, but we're like, if we pull this off, we will do something celebratory, a ceremony of some sort that I think the Nasties and any new listeners, viewers would appreciate. So we really want it. We're committed to victory here, and we can't do it without your support and help. So please do nominate us in the marketing category now and radio station of the year.
So first we get nominated, and then you got to nominate us more.
Yeah.
And then if we're in the top 10, we move on
To the voting.
to the voting phase.
Yeah.
And then we go vote to try to be number one.
Yeah.
Going for 2 awards.
Jazzy's going to just flood the streets with voting paraphernalia.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm going to put all that stuff on my
Let's
social
go.
media, the links. So I already sent it to all my family and cousins.
love that.
So, yeah.
Reminder, the official drink of the EST Hangout. It is the Finnish long drink, legend of 1952, and drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor. Longdrink.com/Canada is where you can enter your postal code and find a liquor store and establishment nearest you with the long drink in stock. It might be a perfect drink for the long weekends.
Good segue, because Ian says it's for the marketing job that you guys do with your partners. I nominated you for that other one.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Ian. I
Thank
never
Ian.
thought of that.
I didn't know what that was for, but I
Thank
love it.
you.
It was a different category. So thank you for that, Ian. We're going for
Okay.
both.
I
Respect, Ian. Respect.
Yeah, appreciate it. I did not think of that at all.
No, I
Our
didn't.
partners. We're lucky. We've got great partners like Long Drink, Sentinel Storage, obviously coming on board with us here. I'll even say this. Like yesterday at Hudson's, Paige sat with you guys, right?
Yep.
Paige from Alley Cat.
Yep.
And I think she just rolled in to watch the game. I don't know if she was there with a friend or not. Paige pours drinks at the bar at Alley Cat if you go there. You see her on the socials on Alley Cat's social media page. Sarah does a great job over there. Cam, he's great as well. But she's like, oh my God, I didn't know, like, I just came here to watch, and then I saw you guys drinking 6 o'clocker. I had to get a picture, and then you remembered me. I'm like, yeah, of course, because I remember when we launched or got 6 o'clocker lager going, we had the tour with Alley Cat, and it's that, like, we're friends and we are acquaintances, and we like our partners and other businesses in the community. So Ian, thank you. I mean, that is something I completely disregarded and really appreciate it. And shout out to the folks at Alley Cat.
Sponsorship works, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it does.
It totally does. And Nasties are so loyal. They go out.
We have a nasty bash, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I got to book a date for that.
I thought it's booked.
No.
I talked to
Fergie?
Yeah. He gave me the date because I needed to make sure I don't go on vacation.
You mean Nasty Bash?
Yeah.
Did you say
Do you
Nasty
want it?
Bash?
I said Nasty Bash.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was thinking Nasties.
Oh, Estes.
no, but Estes I
No,
would
Nasty
need to-
Bash.
yeah.
Nasty
Oh,
Bash.
did Dusty talk to him already? Okay. I haven't even talked to Fergie about the date because we had a tentative idea, but we didn't lock it in fully.
Okay.
See how far in advance I have to book.
That's good. Your schedule's busy.
So if you go to the Community Votes Edmonton, you go to just to nominations under services is where you scroll in and you will find marketing and advertisement, and Edmonton Sports Talk is right there. Just nominated us. And under sports, recreation, and fitness is where radio stations is. And that's where you can go nominate Edmonton Sports Talk for that one. But that one will take you directly to the page if you just go to edmontonsportstalk.com. So we took some of that legwork out there. Legwork. Wook. I don't know what I'm doing there. So there you go. That's interesting. I'm fascinated by that. I want 2 awards now. I'm going to be greedy.
Tamara the wig lady. It was a pleasure meeting you, by the way, with your lovely Oilers wig.
And nice seeing Barry as well.
Barry with the winya. The t-shirt.
How about Cal and Sarah and VR Montenegro with the Tommy's Tab shirt?
Yeah.
They created Tommy's Tab t-shirts. Yeah.
It was nice. It was a really nice shirt.
My parents thought it was hilarious.
Calvin had the winya on too.
Yeah.
Oh, loved seeing your parents. They're just so much fun.
Get home safe, Tommy.
Actually, there's a lot of nasties there, and like they were cheering and just
Chanting.
chanting, and you could tell that everybody else just really wanted to come hang out with us.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was great.
I strongly encourage whoever doesn't come out to come out.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot. In the next round, everybody's gonna be hyper in the conference finals. Come out and join us.
While you're in sports, recreation, and fitness for the Community Votes Edmonton 2025 nominations, be sure to click golf courses as well. Edmonton Garrison.
Nice.
You could Matt from the Garrison. We could use some nominations, just saying. So go nominate.
Hell yeah.
Edmonton Garrison. Let's just pass the love around. It's a day to pass around love. Who's in a bad mood in the city of Edmonton?
You get a car. You get a car.
True.
Get a car.
Everyone should be in a
Tired
great
and
mood.
everything, right?
We're like
all in a
Oprah.
good
And we're
mood.
getting some rain, which is just wonderful.
Oh,
it's
so
lovely.
Fresh. So fresh.
Get some of that dust away, but also just, we need the
Greens
rain.
up the
Greens
city.
up.
Yep.
Hopefully we're getting enough that could start, keeping things a little less dry. What are the fears for going into the summer and stuff?
Absolutely.
Like it's just those type of things. Hopefully, so we keep getting a little bit more. But it's all good. The Elks are starting up very soon. First preseason game is next Saturday down in Calgary. Stingers are going. We've got the Riverhawks coming up right away
Regular
here.
season begins. Me versus Hernan. Yuke's going to be 20 minutes late, so we're going to start a game.
Are you doing
my.
streaming?
Streaming it, Twitch, everything. But don't leave the hangout. That's just,
Breaking news. The Tecmos League is launching
not
here.
having our audio, though. Only game audio to start.
I'm very excited about this. This is very good. It always comes down to me needing to get these things done, so I finally got things done. There's 7 of us in the Tecmo League. The draft commenced yesterday. I love the teams I've got here, but the league now is beginning. You will eventually be able to find our
And
Twitch.
spin the wheel, right?
Yeah, so
So I could play 3 versus his 1.
That's going to be always the case. The only difference will be when the vets take on the noobs. They can't be lower than us. Okay. So they just, if you spin a 2 and they spin it, they pump up to the same as us. But if we're lower than them, we play with a lower seed.
Yeah, good enough.
So, yeah. So it's the Tecmo League begins. You'll hear a lot about it on the station. It ruins moods for Hernan, Dusty, and myself. I'm very excited. Yukon's very happy. He's going to be in the building at 10:30. Did you get a number 3? Dusty's already mad. He's swearing.
Can I clarify something about the Tecmo League? I don't hate it. The guys on the morning show were saying I hate it. I have nothing against it.
Hernan got 3 too? Wow.
I just want to clear the air. I have nothing against it. I just won't participate, and I think it's funny how hardcore you guys are about it, and I don't want any of it. That's all I want to say.
We got the New York Giants taking on the Chicago Bears. I know all of our teams. That's who's going on.
Not even
right now.
surprised in the
I
least.
beat the Bears yesterday in the last exhibition game. My New Orleans Saints and Sam Mills, we stepped up. We showed up. We got the win. Eric Martin was brilliant. It's fun. I'm excited. It's been a long time since we've been playing regular season play. Didn't we do rock, paper, scissors? And then winner gets to pick which side. Yeah. See, they all come to me for everything. And then they get mad at me when I'm dictating too much. But yet things are going, like I have to tell them how to pick sides.
Hanzo in the nasty chat. Can I get a rain? Yeah.
That's good.
So good.
VR, I'll stay, I guess. You could put it on 2 screens if you really want to. There is no audio to it. So you'd have to watch it so you could put the 2 things up. Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, by the way, they are brought to you by the Hive Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehiveproductmarketing.com. Chelsea and Brett over there do some great work. So if you're looking for any promotional products for your business, an events, yourself, whatever it might be, your team, get in touch with them at the Hive Product Marketing. The first part of the golf stuff is starting to come in for the EST Golf Classic presented by Play Alberta. Which is less than 2 months away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yep.
They're in the corner.
I think I've got everything pretty much set. I feel like I'm missing something. But at this moment, I'm not. I think. I don't know.
We
Figure it out.
like the show. If you guys are feeling good today, tired but good, like the show.
Do we have anything left on hockey here to fully get to?
Always get back to hockey. I mean, there was other sports on yesterday.
Well, I was gonna quickly want to go to if no one has anything on hockey as of right now, because we could.
We'll go back to it. Don't worry.
Knicks couldn't get it done.
Knicks couldn't get it done. And like they didn't have Tatum.
I know.
And Brown ripped it, I think 29 points. Well, I was trying to watch it and the Nasties were I was trying to watch the Timberwolves game at the same time.
But you can't do that. There's an Oilers game going on.
I'm like, I'm gonna get a TV change.
Hey, Knicks and Celtics, you can watch that one because the Oilers isn't coming up till later. You can try to get that one on. You can't be going, I want Timberwolves and Warriors on right now while the Oilers are looking to close out the Vegas Golden Knights.
I was just bugging them, obviously.
Were you?
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay. Josh Hart, 24 points. Jaylen Brown, 26 points. So
Clausen is a little worried. He said it yesterday in a text that about this the Knicks that they haven't closed out a series at home since 1999. As I think about that though now, how many times have they really had a chance to close out a series at home though, Josh, since 1999? Don't think there probably have been many. No. It's not like they've been in the playoffs every single year for the last 25 years that they haven't been able to close it. So
and Knicks are going home. They were also in Boston, right?
yeah, but that's what he's saying is that the Knicks haven't closed out a series at home.
They'll be okay.
So them coming back home scares him because they haven't done it since
Let's see.
1999.
I think Knicks still have it in them.
I hope so.
And it's okay. It wasn't do or die for them. But it was for Golden State yesterday. They are eliminated.
They done.
They done.
They out.
Gone.
Those
Or she gone.
Timberwolves on a little bit of a run.
T-Wolves are.
They got to the conference final last year too, didn't they? They lost to the Mavs in the conference finals, didn't they?
What are the Warriors now? Are they over the hill? They need to refresh, or are they still kind of in the mix?
That's a good question. They are a senior team. Steph did like Steph was running that team until he got injured. That's a massive loss.
Draymond's still there.
Draymond's still there, and Draymond's being Draymond.
It was Timberwolves last year.
Dramatic.
It's a great question because, like, I know I saw a tweet yesterday that somebody said Curry's championship window is closed. But he played well this year, and this team, they
made a comeback.
completely changed once they got Jimmy Butler. That, like, you have to wonder, like, can you not run this back another year or two? But it does look like the West is going to get stronger potentially if you go based off the rumors. You know, the Mavs, okay, they're going to get Cooper Flag. I don't think they're ready. Well, they do have AD and they do have Kyrie, so maybe the Mavs are a bit better next year. We'll see what the Lakers do, but then there's talk of Giannis going to to San Antonio.
That's right.
There's talk of Houston going to pick apart the Celtics for pieces because they're going to get into a money issue here coming up soon.
Wow.
So now, like all these teams, where does Kevin Durant go in all
What
of
is
this?
KD now? Because he's old.
He's washed
What kind of
up.
player is he? Is he
is.
washed up?
I think so.
But you add him to the right team. I think he what did the Suns have? Was he beyond Booker and KD?
They had a fall from grace, didn't they?
Major
Fired
fall.
their
Yeah.
coach. Yeah.
So I don't know. Where does he go, and how does that improve things? Like the West is very, very strong. So you wonder, can the Warriors continue in that? Clippers ended up, having a pretty decent season as well. You know, if Kawhi's healthy, they're always going to be 2-degree threat. The Nuggets are like. If they get the right coach next year to fix that team, like they could have been up 3-2 in this series. So I don't know. Like I honestly don't know where the Golden State goes with this one, just because it's the conference they're into. Just seems very difficult.
I'm like, again, as a casual observer at best, Jazzy,
Love that.
of
Love it.
the NBA.
Take notes, you. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like surprised / impressed that Golden State's kind of where they're at right now still,
Good point.
because it's been over a decade where they were the team and they had that nice run and all those championships, and even for them to be still in the mix and kind of like looking at maybe even making one more run like you were saying, I'm like, wow, that's impressive when you stretch it out to like a decade like that and you're still considered a potential contender. I think that's good management and a good job by the players and coaches as well.
Yeah, but it's Steph Curry too. Like he's still Steph Curry. You know,
That's impressive.
LeBron's still doing it with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
he's still going and like no one's saying that LeBron's window was like closed. And now they bring in Luka, but now Jimmy Buckets isn't as young as Luka, but he's not as old as Steph. I don't believe.
How old is Steph Curry? He's got to be mid-30s now, right?
Oh, I feel like Steph's 37.
Yeah, I think I think you're right.
Steph's 37.
But he plays a style that,
He looks like he's 30.
right, he's like a boy wonder almost.
oh,
But like,
Jimmy Bucket's 35.
but Steph plays a style, correct me if I'm wrong, that isn't overly physical. He's a three-point shooter.
He's a 3-point shooter, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he does.
Yeah, I don't think you have to
rolls
worry
his
as much
ankles
like the
and-
body as much.
Yeah.
in
He's
that
6
sense.
foot, too.
But what was the injury he just had? Oh, torn ACL? Something like that.
Yikes.
But he never had that in his career. So it's also like how's he going to respond when he comes back next year with it? The one thing the NBA does better than I want to say most sports is the off-court drama of movement of players in North America. You know, hockey, a lot of players stay, although you look at some of the potential free agents this year, this could potentially be a fun free agency in hockey with seeing
That's
who goes
true.
where and
That's
how much, the cap's shooting up as much as it is. NFL to a degree, maybe, but it's not guaranteed, and it's not always the biggest names that maybe are moving. And baseball's, I don't know. I feel like your best players are constantly moving around.
Baseball is just hired mercenaries every time.
You just all these big play like Giannis leaving is just ridiculous to think about this type of name possible. But it's the NBA and that's what they do. So off court, that type of drama to follow is always fun. That little soap opera.
Max says Warriors also screwed up their high draft pick, so they could have kept their window open longer.
Yeah, they did have that first overall pick a couple of years ago.
What'd they do with it?
Is that part of the Wiggins deal? Did they traded for Wiggins, like whoever they selected?
Wiggins still
Or
effective?
they had not number 1 overall pick, they did number 2 or something.
Where's Wiggins now? Because he was with...
Didn't they go to Miami?
Yes, that's right, in the trade. in the whole Jimmy Butler drama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sort of. They picked second overall in 2020. James Wiseman they selected. And what did they do with him? Professional career.
Second overall with Wiseman.
He signed with them, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's traded to Pistons in a big deal, which the Golden State Warriors then reacquired Gary Payton II. Who did they miss out on in that draft?
I don't know.
I'm just pulling it up. Well, LaMelo Ball. He's done really well for the Hornets.
Yeah.
A lot of nobodies. Tyrese Halliburton went 12th that year.
Is his dad the one that's banned?
Yeah.
Because he got into, who did he get into it with? Giannis, right?
Yes,
Giannis.
that's right.
Tyrese Maxey went 21 that year. Not the best draft year. I'll give him that credit. But there were two players, a couple of really good players that they could have taken. But a lot of other people passed on them too.
And I don't think he's banned. He's not banned. Rip City, correct me if I'm wrong, because Rip's the one who told me this. He said that he chooses not to come to the game.
Well, I mean, that was pretty embarrassing what happened.
Yeah.
And that was him kind of initiating it, right?
Maybe he'll come to this round, though. The next round, the Pacers. And Knicks.
That was, I don't like,
Maybe Knicks.
I kind of like some of the interaction between fan and player in the NBA because you're literally right beside them on the court, which is amazing. It's cool. It is such a cool thing. However, it feels like in the last couple of years, people who are not or shouldn't, quote unquote, be engaging with players or confronting them and getting into conflicts with them are doing it more. I'll just say this. Like, if it's like another athlete or movie star, musician, whatever, when they trade barbs with a player in the NBA, I think that's kind of neat. But when it's just like some super rich fan that's just a dickhead,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's just obnoxious. I think that's a bad look because they feel they can do that.
Yeah. There's a difference between like taste, right? Like if you're being funny and you have like this big head or something and you're mocking
Oh,
them,
sure, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
As
yeah.
opposed to being aggressive.
Yeah.
But they're human beings.
Who's the Raptors? What's the Raptors super fan name? Charm?
No, Nav Bhatia.
Yeah, Nav.
Yeah, super fan Nav
But
Bhatia.
he doesn't mix it up and get into it with.
He's just a positive
he's
one.
a
it looks
lovable
like.
He's there
person.
every
Yes,
game.
every
He's
game.
season ticket
They
holder.
got Drake who got into it with
With Durant. DeRozan.
But and listen, Drake's a
and
mega
he
star.
got into it with Durant too, didn't he?
Yeah, Durant too.
And
But DeRozan on the court.
yeah, and that's deliberate. But like, listen, they're people too, but they are on a different plane. These stars and musicians and artists than just a normal super rich person
True.
who nobody knows about.
You're right. Like the celebrities, it's a show, right? Like not some rich
Like
hedge fund kid.
Spike Lee getting into it with somebody, you're like, okay, he's a super fan. Everybody knows him, famous producer, director, and it's like, it's part of the show. But then if it's CEO from crypto company that's just an obnoxious jerk and he's hammered and high one night and he's sitting courtside with an escort and he's getting into it with a player, it's like, man,
She just loves him for the money.
Yeah.
Of course.
Did you say she just loves him for
it's
the
like,
money?
dude, get out of here. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, that's just my rant.
There's no one else.
Venting.
I respect that.
I do like the fact that I love Celebrity Row at Knicks games.
It's
so
pretty cool.
Legit.
It's fun. Them and the Lakers, they're the two that bring up the most. And it's when they're in the playoffs and it's deeper. You just see all these celebs. You're like, this is Timothy Shell. We'll see a lot more Timothy Shell.
Yeah, and he's a real fan. He posted on his Instagram and stories
Yeah.
and stuff. Missed the Met Gala.
I'm having more respect for Chalamet. I don't. He was Willy Wonka and Dune. You said,
He was good in Willy Wonka.
and then there's like Jack Nicholson. You know,
That's an OG
that's
Lakers.
yeah,
fan, though.
and you just look at him, you're like, whoa,
And I don't
that
even
guy's
think
always there.
Does he sit courtside? Does
He-
he sit a little bit up, like to get a better view?
No, he sat courtside. He doesn't go to games as much anymore.
Yeah, he does.
He is older.
Health wise and stuff. Yeah, so he doesn't. There's this one though. My favorite is there's this one like small Asian lady.
I know.
That's at Laker games.
Every game.
And she's been just a fan for years, but apparently
name
is
again?
loaded. And like no one like she doesn't talk to people.
She just
like,
sits there and watches the game.
and she has
So
her like
cute.
one person with her, but
That's
she's
great.
just a huge fan.
Yeah.
And you're always like, who is that? And like in every game, you're like, oh, who is that? Oh, and but like if you're not watching, and then it's like, but she just is. She's apparently just loaded, but loves her Lakers, goes, watches them.
But she's not like jumping up and down
No.
and yelling
No.
at players and trying to get on
she's
TV.
very stoic.
She's chill.
She's stoic watching it.
Great.
You can't even
See,
tell.
that's
Yuri.
great.
Her name is.
It's like
Probably if you go try to talk to her, like you're ended up in the desert in Nevada. She knows people that
like,
can
"Oh,
probably
yeah.
take care of you
yeah.
like that.
There's
Goals,
a lot of holes,
baby.
A lot of holes in the desert. Who's what is it? Blue Jays Nona. Was that her name? The Nona, the older lady that sits behind home plate at Rogers Center. I think they call her Blue Jays Nona, and then Geddy Lee sits back there sometimes. Anyway,
One day.
I wouldn't mind having like partial season seats to baseball. In a suite or a club section, like in Arizona. I mean, the prices are insanely cheap there for club seats. I remember my uncle's first ever MLB game. We're like, Diego, we're gonna do this right. He's like, no, don't spend too much. I'm like, we got club seats. He's like, come on, how much? I'm like, $40 each. It was awesome. But like, you can find those great deals.
If I lived in a city that had all the sports, I don't think I would do baseball partial
Yeah.
season seats. I feel like that would for me be the one. The day of, I'd be like, oh,
want like a 20
I'd go to
game
a
pack.
baseball game or something today.
Something like that.
I would want the basketball season seats.
Courtside for sure.
Why? Now I'm just dreaming. If I have all the money, like if I have money for courtside basketball seats, I have season tickets for every single team in all the sports.
Oh yeah, and you have
The
like
life.
48 teams that you love.
Yeah, except they don't all play in the same city. It makes things a little more difficult.
it's okay.
I can't just move to
You
one
got a
city.
PJ.
Yeah,
PJ.
yeah.
LA for NBA, New York for baseball, Baltimore for football, the Durham, North Carolina for college basketball, Miami, Florida for college football. And also then there is Pullman, Washington for my other college football team. And then I got to go to England for soccer. Just all over the place. I'm not good for
Rich
the
people problems.
I know. I just got to keep flying around, and that would be the life.
I do have another Oilers thing actually,
Go
but
for it.
before
Go for
I
it.
do, OKC is favored today, I believe by 4.5 against Denver. They can also close it out, but they are also in Denver. What do you think will happen with that? Because the Nuggets
think
are not making it easy by any means.
Ah, well, no, but they also blew a great game from Jokic last game. I think
They
OKC.
just weren't scoring, right?
I'll think OKC closes.
I hope they do. OKC's a good team.
Dusty on Play Alberta. His play of the day is Jokic over 51.5 points plus assists plus rebounds. So a total of points, assists, rebounds,
Okay.
52 or more. That's minus 112. His early bird bet special was Jets to win tonight. Nick Ehlers a point, Scheifele a point. That is plus 257. Go to playalberta.ca or Play Alberta app. If you download that one, click on EST specials, and those two are right there. Jay will have his play of the day later today, and the DJ and Den will have their grandest parlay as well.
I put a sprinkle on yesterday. I finally got into it on Play Alberta. McDavid assist is what cost me because I put it on the early bird special that Dusty put out. It was McDavid, Draisaitl points each, and then
No, Draisaitl goal.
oh Draisaitl. Oh, okay,
And
sorry,
McDavid was the power play point.
okay, definitely nowhere near that. Then forget about it. And I accidentally didn't put in the promo code when I put my deposit in. So I'll do that too.
You want to get to the Oilers? We'll get to the Oilers. I'm going to have to push it back quickly
course.
because I'm going to make this. Well, we'll get to the
course.
Play Alberta. Well, I'll just actually make this the Play Alberta
Do it
over
up.
under. We don't really have over and under for this, but the Edmonton Elks and Play Alberta connect on a new partnership.
Nice.
They already had the partnership with the Oilers. They have a partnership overall with the Elks. They jump on board with us, and then the Elks probably like, well, look, we need to have the Play Albertas with EST. Like, they definitely are the people we need to connect with. New partnership. Home Field Advantage has a new name, says this press release, as the Edmonton Elks announced today. It'll be Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium, the new home of the Edmonton Elks. It is a multi-year deal between Play Alberta and the Double E, making Play Alberta the official sports betting partner of the Edmonton Elks. But now the Edmonton Elks will be playing at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. So that's Play Alberta jumping on board. And I know there's always a bit of criticism when it comes to seeing betting companies like when the Oilers got the logo, and I think there'll be people with Commonwealth. But in the end, one, sports betting was happening, whether it's illegal or not. It was happening. Two, and now it's legal. The money stays in the community. But one thing I really respect, though, to Play Alberta is they're investing in the community with the sports franchises. They're with the Oilers. They're helping out the Elks. You know, they're into partnerships.
Stamps and Flames.
Stingers. They're also with the Stingers.
Yes.
You know, like Play Alberta isn't just like it could be one thing where Play Alberta could just be like, oh, we'll do Oilers and Flames, which is very easy. But they're jumping in with the other sports teams too, and partnering up with them. And so Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium, it is the new home of the Edmonton Elks.
Play Alberta is ballin'.
And that is your Play Alberta over and under. There was no over and under for that. For here today.
Over under our 5.5 wins at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium.
5.5?
Yeah.
Oh, I like how you're adding that.
That's
5.5
aggressive.
wins. So they play 9 home games.
That's home field advantage.
Okay, I'm going to quickly pull up the Elks schedule here and go through their home games and see where we're at with that. Deposit 20 or more on a $100 free bet on sports. Use the promo code 100sports when you deposit 20 or more for that $100 free bet. PlayAlberta.ca or download the Play Alberta app. Okay, so the home games that they have this season. Home to Montreal, home to Ottawa, home to BC, home to Hamilton, home to Toronto, home to Calgary, home to Saskatchewan, home to Winnipeg, home to Calgary.
Those two Calgary, those are you need to win those. I think you can beat Hamilton. I think you can beat Ottawa. Although Ottawa, I think it's better this year. Have to beat BC.
That's the opener with Snoop Dogg?
No, in Edmonton. We're talking about the ones
BC,
here.
Yeah.
Yes, 5.5 here, though. Yeah.
5.5 at home.
Yeah. So in Montreal, I'm going to say a loss. Home to Ottawa, I'm going to say win. Home to Hamilton, win. Home to Toronto, I have a win.
Ooh.
Home to Calgary, I'll have a win. Home to Saskatchewan, I'll have a win. So can they beat Winnipeg or Calgary in one of those last 2 games of the last 2 home games of the season?
I think Winnipeg's going to take a step back.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Yeah.
I'd say they get 6.
Yeah. That'd be.
I'll say 6 home wins.
Maybe they struggle on the road, but
You want to know something? If the team was going to be 9-9,
yeah.
go 9 at home and lose all 9 on the road.
Well, but take back Commonwealth Stadium.
Well, that's my point. Like,
take it back.
when they had those rough years where they weren't winning, like they had 3 wins. They were all on the road. And like, have those 3 wins at home. Couldn't they at least be at home so the fan base have a little something extra to cheer for? If the Elks were to go 9-9 this season, I would love it to 9-0 home and 0-9 on the road. Go take care of business at home and make it a great place for people to want to come to see. And then if you make it a reason for people to want to come watch you, maybe they help make it a fortress again.
Mm-hmm. I'll add one more thing on the business side of this. Like if people are going, well, the name of Commonwealth is sacred and all the rich history there. They have sold the naming rights to it before.
It was the brick field.
And they haven't gotten rid of the Commonwealth Stadium part. It'll always be Commonwealth Stadium.
That's now up for the city. The city could sell that.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. So things had gotten so bad business wise. Obviously, with the Thompson family, Larry and Deb taking over, breathes new life and a whole lot of finances into this. But it's still a business that you want to make viable. And the city finally just said, "Yeah, we can sell the naming rights to the stadium." I was told that. So.
Yeah, so
Just win there.
the article came out that there's 29 facilities, I think, including Commonwealth or something.
Well,
that
Booster
the city
Juice
is looking
Center.
at. That was the first.
Yeah.
They're looking at seeing what type of naming rights they can get. And I saw online on like Reddit, people are all upset and like, well, why this is nothing sacred? And it's like, well, your property taxes have gone up. If there's a way to help add a little extra money to the budget civically,
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
the Terwilliger Rec Center was not sacred to me.
Yeah, exactly,
No.
right?
I don't care that it's now
business,
Booster
baby.
Juice Rec Center.
Yeah.
I don't take pride in playing at Glengarry Arena on Friday nights at 10:45.
If that could be the William Huff Arena, awesome.
Sure.
Sweet. Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that is... Commonwealth Stadium, that'd be sad if the name ever went away. But at the same time, I also understand, like, it's not Wrigley Field. It's not Fenway
Or
Park.
Smoothie King Arena.
No, but it's not these.
Yeah.
It's not a landmark that you're like. If Fenway Park ever was like,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's a big thing in Clam Chowder Company Park or something like?
Sure.
it would,
Sam Adams
Chick-fil-A.
Stadium.
Yeah.
it would just be so devastating. Like, how could if MSG ever was no longer MSG?
Yeah.
it would be like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Commonwealth Stadium's not that.
No, it's not.
And you're right. The field, because it's Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. The field has been sold for many years.
Rick
to the
had
Brick,
it,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So with that, what did you want to go do with the Oilers?
Oh, such
Yeah.
compelling stuff I have to say.
Lay it on us.
I think you know what I'm going to say, Tommy.
What?
Because I asked you yesterday and you just rolled your eyes at me.
Okay, refresh my memory.
Okay. I was like, what card do you think Kane's going to be rolling in today?
I did roll my eyes. I
Maddie,
don't know
what?
if they could go any further into the back of my head.
Who cares?
I did say who cares, and then you made it like a 5-minute
I
conversation.
did. Oh my God, you do remember.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's the second glass of wine.
Yes.
So tell me, what do
You
think?
all and you try to send one back. I was like,
I was going to bring that up.
just drink
I
it.
kept. I know. Did I just drink it?
Even Eva G, you let Eva G try it, and my mom's like,
She wanted to help.
she's like, this is fine.
Well, when we
And
discussed about
and then-
oxidized wine.
You know what was the best? My dad's like, well, I need, let me. I'm Italian. And then he even had some, so I was like,
It was fun. It was a good conversation we all had about oxidized expired wine.
sure.
I drank it, Tommy. Sucked it up.
Okay, let's talk about this car thing.
So we came back out in a Rolls Royce.
Did you drive a
Apparently,
different car
I don't
yesterday?
know. I guess so.
I didn't get a
I didn't
chance
pay
to check.
attention.
I was busy. Benny? Well,
No one cares. Apparently,
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
apparently no one cares.
whatever. He's borrowing it from someone in the city or renting it, and
Style
Great.
points.
sure. He's driving it to a parking garage underneath the arena, and then somebody has to go and drive it out.
And he's bringing attention
To what?
To who?
from America.
Who's bringing attention? Hey, Benny.
What,
Kanan.
what
He
do
needs
you
it.
want?
He needs to borrow it, Benny,
Oh, okay.
for something.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
What about Charles?
But no, he's bringing attention. Like, but like, how? I don't know. Okay, he's bringing attention. Sure.
You look like a Teletubby today.
You didn't hear me.
Yeah.
Just bullying Zachary.
I know. Last time I called him a dad of 3 who just dropped his wife off at the nail salon. He did. He looked like a father. Okay, Charles Barkley is really invested into the Oilers. If you guys didn't catch the clip of
He
him.
interrupted
live.
the panel.
Yeah, and he was so excited. Perhaps I can quickly play it for you guys.
Shaq Hyman didn't care.
Shaq Hyman, I don't know if they zoomed in on him or not, but
But yeah, Charles Barkley. He's like,
10 points, 7 blocks. You scored in overtime. Can we watch this and you can celebrate hockey?
Ernie doesn't care.
Told y'all.
Ernie doesn't give a damn.
Oilers gonna win the Stanley Cup. We gonna
that was like me and you, Maddie, when I'm interrupting you. You were Ernie.
I absolutely love Ernie Johnson.
He's great.
He's the best
He's
host by
so
far.
good. He vibes with the guys so well. It's just-
He's just got a wonderful life story too. That's
Yes.
also very heartbreaking.
yes, it is.
He's a great man.
Great voice.
I'd love to meet that guy.
Yeah.
speaking of like really good American broadcasters, Rich Eisen going back to ESPN.
Yeah, I saw something like that. I don't know. Is he leaving the NFL Network too, though? Because I don't know if he is.
Okay,
Because
like,
there's
how
also
can he do
talks.
both?
Because there's talks that ESPN's buying the NFL Network.
What?
There's been talk. This is like 2 years now or something. That there's talks, like big talks, that like ESPN is going heavy into the NFL and like going to buy out the NFL Network.
Holy
And
smokes.
take a bunch of things from the NFL for like billions upon billions of dollars. And that's where I'm wondering if he still works for the NFL, like will be on the NFL Network, but the Rich Eisen show is now going to be on ESPN, and maybe he'll do some things with ESPN.
That's a great show.
But you watch it?
Rich Eisen show?
How do you watch it?
I watch the clips. Like they'll put interviews up.
I thought I was
and
going to
I'll
be like,
watch
how do you get it? 'Cause
I really like Rich Eisen.
He's good.
Yeah.
It's the one reason like I'm sad I don't watch the NFL Network for the draft to watch Rich Eisen.
I love having NFL Network on my cable package. It is a redeeming quality of that damn cable package. And I do find myself on Sundays leaning more so to NFL Network's
Oh, yeah?
game show than ESPN. Because I know TSN runs ESPN,
Yeah, countdown.
the countdown, but I go back and forth, but I think I usually leave it on NFL Network. I think I like their personalities more.
I really like throwing on sometimes countdown, or the NFL pregame show. Like I don't bother with CBS or Fox.
No.
It's just something else watching. I should maybe this year tune into the NFL Network a little bit. It's incredible how good they
watch
do it
those?
and moving around to different clips.
Yeah.
I
The
remember
little
one
segments that they do.
There was one Super Bowl I remember I had like called JMO almost. I was like, I just watched some of the best television I think I've ever seen produced. And it was just the Super Bowl one, and they went and gave their Super Bowl predictions. But it was like 50 different people giving predictions all across different studios, different
cool.
cities, and like how they were cutting and going to and they threw to the next person, how seamless it was. I'm like, this is brilliant.
Because that's chaos.
I couldn't imagine how to
Coordinate that,
prep it, have everyone ready on the same page, knowing who to throw to, what's going on, and what's being said. I don't know how TV people do it with stuff being said in your ears.
It's tricky.
But like it was like, wow, this was unbelievable. And every time I'm like, this has got to be the last person. They threw to someone else and someone else and someone else, and it like the stuff they get done is fantastic sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It's the power of money.
Yeah.
To hire the best people. And then the big wigs to allow the most creative, sharpest people to let their ideas flow and put them into action. That's when you get all of those all lined up and you get something crazy like that where it creates awesome television.
Well, and that's just also the population theory in that sense, because America's close to 400 million people.
Yeah.
The networks get X amount of money per subscriptions type things, I think, from cable, like this, going back to cable days, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how it was. Winner?
8-7 win for the Giants.
28-7. Big running game or passing
He
game?
completed a single pass.
No.
Oh, he was telling me how great their defense was all day yesterday when I was talking about
They're not that good.
No, I know. Well, you want to know the trade I gave him? He walked away.
He's very excited.
I would switch. I wanted to swap seconds with him and thirds. So he would have picked earlier. He could have had Green Bay and New Orleans, and he passed on that.
There's both over here.
Are you going to get in on this? No, you can't. You didn't.
League's now in.
No.
League's now in. But where was I going with that? Before her.
Just the production.
So money.
money.
There was like you get X amount for cable. So with 400 million people, if you have 5% of the population, you're also getting a crap ton of money because whereas Canada, it's 40 million people, and if you get 5% of the population or whatever doing it, it's
quite
just
modest.
naturally less money to produce. You now have bigger pool to produce.
Yeah.
They both have to produce same television. That's all the exact same.
Yeah.
But you get less money when you're in Canada because it's a smaller population than that.
Well,
that's where I feel bad.
That's like TNT and ESPN having the catering service at Rogers Place for the games. Jazzy, you would love it because you have your own little section. Only you can go in there. The buffet's ready for you. Whatever beverage you want.
To make me feel special.
They could do that for you specifically. I mean, there's probably some stanchions with ropes that they could, like the Jasmine wants it.
Oh, too good, Tommy.
But certainly security guard waiting, credentials. Okay, you're good to go. Oh, Jasmine, Miss Jasmine, come on in. Your caviar?
Caviar.
Champagne? Your favorite red, oxidized. Just for you after the game.
Am I ordering wine at a pub? But okay.
Reminder, house band of Edmonton Sports Talk, Whale and the Wolf, they have a show coming up on May 31st. Tickets are limited. And why I say they're limited is they're over 90% sold. So there's very few tickets left. Rocky Mountain Ice House, May 31st. Go check them out, whaleandwolf.com, or go to their IG page, Whale and the Wolf. There's a link right there to their tickets. We will have a pair of tickets tomorrow to give away as well to the show May 31st at the Rocky Mountain Ice House, playing some new music, playing some old music.
Yes.
I know a few Nasties have already bought their tickets. Brother Morgs won the tickets last week. There will be people there. So it's going to be a fun little night on May 31st. So go get your tickets now because there's no tickets soon. There's no tickets soon. That's actually a great venue to watch a venue. Watch
Surprisingly,
a show.
Yeah, it's a nice
I know.
place.
It's big,
it's
bigger
big,
than you
yeah.
think it is.
Yeah, because it's like small and their storefront is pretty small, but
Yeah.
when you walk in, it's you're right.
It opens
widens
up.
And then it's the concert part's just kind of on the side there, and it works really nice. And it's a lot of people go, where would they play at Rocky Mountain? And you explain, I'm like, oh, and then they go, and it's a great spot to go watch a show. So I'm excited to see the boys play.
Sneaky good spot downtown.
And they have ski shots.
Yeah, they do.
I love
That's
that
right.
thing there.
Yeah. And they have a guy at like on weekends. They have I can't remember his name, but he sits outside the patio and he's very friendly. You guys want to come in for a drink? You know what? Yes, we will. We're not doing
Yeah.
anything better. We're gonna come in for one.
Yeah, it's funny. I think that's how I got in there, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah, it's right by Foo's.
Foos Repair Shop.
Yes, another sneaky good spot.
Great
Yeah.
for sharing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and trying everything on the menu.
Went on a date there once. Faux all over or fa all over my shirt.
No way.
Yeah, very messy.
You know what? I just realized we're gonna have time to catch up on movies and TV and stuff like that now.
What are you watching?
Well, I just finished a show on Disney, and it's called Good American Family.
Okay.
It is so good. Like every episode was like, what the F?
Really?
Yes. I absolutely recommend. Every single episode was entertaining. It's based on a true story.
Good
don't wanna-
American Family.
Good American Family. It's
Okay.
based. I'll just tell you what. Like I won't tell you too much because again, I like to go into things not knowing too much.
Yes.
It's a family who adopts a kid and they think she's an adult, and I'll leave it at that. And it's pretty freaking wild. Yeah.
Creepy.
But I do recommend that show.
There's a lot of sports this weekend to catch up on still.
Yeah, I guess. Well, like, come on.
F1's back.
Race weekend.
PGA Championship this weekend.
Yes.
That's it, I guess.
I did catch up on Last of Us.
Oh,
How
don't
far
tell-
are you in?
I didn't watch the second
I'm up to
episode
speed.
yet.
That's a great
Okay.
series.
Great. Don't tell me about last episode though.
No,
no,
I won't.
same
It's
here.
good.
I'll watch that tonight.
It's
Yeah.
very good. You're into it to the point where you forget or you lose track of time, and you're not sitting there going, "Oh my god, when is this show gonna end?"
Right.
You're like, "Oh my god, it's over already." Like,
Yes.
They had their third shortest episode this past week.
that one was okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Which actually, so weirdly enough, the season finale of season 1 was one of the shortest episodes ever.
But it
They
was
had to, which
epic.
I'm surprised by.
It
They
was-
packed a lot into a short
It
time.
was the whole last level of the game of the first game. Oh. That last episode.
of the first season.
And it was almost like, and they even did that one camera angle where you looked like you were playing the game with Joel.
I'm very impressed with how much they've made it look like a video game at times.
Yeah.
Did you play that game too?
No.
Did you? Can I speak about what happened in the third episode then? The
Yeah.
spoiler
No.
alert. to
Because they're
some
at
people?
they're at episode 5 now.
Yeah,
I
people
know,
must be
but there's
caught
a
up by
lot
now.
of there's people I know that haven't watched the show,
okay.
That's
and
so
that is
ridiculous.
that is a spoiler. That is,
Yeah. So I was.
I'm not getting into that spoiler.
I cried so hard, and I had to message my brother to be like, "Is this real, or are they just tripping?" 'Cause
No,
this yeah.
yeah.
Just so you know, I had to have a one-on-one with him because he plays the games.
Yeah.
And
The
he's
games
like,
are.
Yeah.
No, that one to me. I feel like that one you got to go months before you say something. Like big
Yeah.
on broadcast.
Well, I could see why, obviously.
Yeah, this season has not disappointed. It has stayed true to Last of Us 2. One variation in the show, and this is not a spoiler, I'm not going to give it away too much, is how they've gone, how everything like the infection happens, they've transitioned it to how it happens in the game. I guess that is a bit of a spoiler, but it's not a big deal. But I was like, oh, snap. I'm like, I recognize that stuff in the air. I'm like, that's from the game. And that was one of the differences. They said they had when they were creating it for television, converting it from video game to TV, they said there was a bit of a hitch with utilizing the way the infection happened. So they went with a different route, and then now it's going true to the video game. So I mean that's not too crazy of a spoiler, but I I appreciated it, and I was like, I like how they did this.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I think the gaming community was, I think they were complaining about the first season a little bit.
Because that was a big difference. Because they're like, what? That's not how it happens in the game. But when you play the game, you feel like you're in a movie. And now the show feels like
You're in a game.
It's very, very well done.
I can't wait to watch today.
Season 1 was really good.
Yeah.
But I think season 2 has elevated the show in my pantheon of great shows of all time.
Great.
You were right.
Yeah.
It's elevating it to me.
It's complex and they weave it really well together.
And it's like there's no slow parts.
No.
It's just moving and moving. Yeah.
I could argue episodes 3 and 4 were a little slow.
Lots of
Build up to like
And 3,
storyline.
I fully expect after 2, I fully expected that one to be it. But it was fast. 5, this last episode, I'd say it started off a little slow, but then when it hit,
boom, smacked you.
You're just gone, and the episode's like, whew,
Yeah.
crap's happening the whole time.
Great way to describe the flow.
It snowballed at some point, and you're like, whoa, there's a lot coming at me, and it was great. I can't wait for Sunday. Only 2 more episodes. It makes me sad. And they're making a 3rd season because they split up Game 2 into 2 seasons.
Yeah.
They haven't started filming yet.
Ugh.
And
So wait until 2027. That's the only problem I have with TV shows nowadays. Like back in the day, you would have, season, now they're filming the next season already because in fall, the new one comes out. And I like them taking their time and doing it right. But I just want the new season
Fallout
sooner.
They're filming now, Fallout season 2. And then the other, when are we getting the Stranger Things season 5 here?
Yeah, they're all adults now.
Let's go.
Euphoria's filming right
Yeah.
now.
Are they actually
Yeah,
filming?
they said
It better
Zendaya was
be.
I know, right?
That one's taking even longer.
Yeah. That Millie Bobby Brown is like a 30-year-old woman
Who's
now.
married?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go find my casket by the time Euphoria
my
comes out.
Goodness.
Another good watch. I binged because it was like 30 minutes an episode. I think it's called The 4 Seasons on Netflix. It's trending number 1. It's a really good show. It's
What's it?
more for adults, I guess, about like relationships. But and what's his name from The Office?
Steve Carell.
Yes.
Oh, that is that one.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm
it's
fascinated
good.
by that one.
It is. I thought it'd be.
I saw the
boring.
trailer.
Oh no! Watch
Okay.
the first episode. You'll like. I liked every
The
episode.
4 seasons?
Yeah, 4
Okay.
seasons, and it's like he is dating a younger woman, but his like friend group are all adults. They're all like Gen X, I
Getting
guess.
deja vu here.
Right? And he's dating a Gen Z.
Okay.
But anyways, pretty good. Is Play Alberta is Rip joking? Is that actually official?
Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium.
Yeah.
Did you not remember when I
Well,
read
yeah,
about
I
that a
did.
couple
No,
minutes ago?
I did, but I didn't realize it was official. I thought it was going to be rumored.
He read the press release.
I said the statement the Elks had here.
Okay.
Hello.
Coming up next, it will be the Lock Shop. Thank God the hangout is over right now after that one because I would be ripping on her a lot for that right now. We've got 2 guys and a goal. We got EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show, Turf District later tonight on our audio stream, and potentially Oilers Live as well. Thanks to everyone for tuning into the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Would you like me to send you the press release after that already?
My goodness.
Gentleman sweep. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about.
On behalf of Benny, Tommy, Jasmine, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning into the Hangout on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. By the way, Jasmine, Play Alberta is on board with Edmonton Sports Talk. Just want you to know.
Awesome.
That is official. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,